And a very warm welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with News Tonight. Let us begin by taking a look at the top stories of the day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses Indian American community at New York's Madison Square Garden. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds meetings on bilateral issues with counterparts from Bangladesh, Nepal and Sri Lanka on the sidelines of UNGA summit. Jayalalithaa to seek bail from High Court on Monday. AIADMK names O. Paneerselvam to succeed her as Tamil Nadu Chief Minister. President's rule imposed in Maharashtra. Filing of nominations for assembly elections ends. And a volcano erupts without warning in Japan. 30 hikers and climbers killed. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today joined an exclusive list of people to address from iconic Madison Square Garden in New York. Nearly 20,000 strong gathering of Indian diaspora welcomed Modi in the Big Apple as he walked to a rousing reception. Modi began his speech after a cultural program that showcased the talents of Indian Americans. Speaking in Hindi, Modi praised Indian Americans for making the nation proud with its achievements. He said that the Indian American community has immensely contributed to build a positive image for India. He also said that India has the three powers that no other nation has: the power of democracy, demographic dividend in form of huge population of youth, and the demand. Modi's speech was simultaneously telecast live at Times Square in New York.
वो तीन चीजें जिसके लिए भारत गर्व कर सकता है और जिसके आधार पर भारत आगे बढ़ सकता है. एक, डेमोक्रेसी, लोकतंत्र. ये हमारी सबसे बड़ी ताकत है, सबसे बड़ी पूंजी है. मैं देख रहा था जब चुनाव अभियान, मई महीने की भयंकर गर्मी, बदन पे कपड़े न हो ऐसा गरीब व्यक्ति भी उन जनसभाओं को सुनने के लिए पहुंचता था. उस आशा के साथ पहुंचता था. यही लोकतंत्र है, जिस लोकतंत्र के माध्यम से वो अपनी आशा आकांक्षाओं को पूर्ण कर पाए. दूसरी ताकत है डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड. जिस देश के पास 35 से कम उम्र के 65% नौजवान हो, इससे बड़ा उद्देश्य को क्या चाहिए. और तीसरी बात, डिमांड. पूरा विश्व भारत की तरफ नजर कर रहा है. क्यों? क्योंकि उसे मालूम है 125 करोड़ का देश है, बहुत बड़ा बाजार है, बहुत ज्यादा डिमांड है. ये तीनों चीजें किसी एक देश के पास हो, ऐसा आज दुनिया में कहीं नहीं है.
Earlier, Prime Minister Narendra Modi held bilateral meetings with his counterparts from Bangladesh and Nepal and Sri Lankan President on the sidelines of UNGA summit. Furthering his neighbourhood-first policy, Modi reaffirmed his commitment to make SAARC a strong regional bloc. Crucial issues like fishermen arrests and Teesta Water Treaty was also discussed at the meetings.
After his maiden speech at the 69th session of the United Nations General Assembly last night, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met some of the neighbouring head of states in New York. However, he did not meet his Pakistan counterpart Nawaz Sharif after denouncing Islamabad for raking up Kashmir issue and blaming India for calling off talks. However, he kept the doors open to resume dialogue process and put the onus on Pakistan.
India stands committed to all bilateral interactions with Pakistan in accordance with the Simla Agreement and the Lahore Declaration. Both these ensure that we pursue the path of bilateralism. Both these indicate that we will not accept, either side will not accept intervention in each other's domestic matters.
During his meeting with Sheikh Hasina, Mahinda Rajapakse and Sushil Koirala, Modi reaffirmed his commitment to a stronger regional bloc in SAARC. During the meeting, Bangladesh Prime Minister Hasina assured Modi that she will not allow the soil of her country to be used for any kind of extremism. The two leaders also discussed the crucial Teesta Water Treaty.
As regards the Teesta, he said that water is a sensitive issue and we need to work out a consensus on this matter, and he assured her While we work on consensus on this issue, the Teesta waters are flowing unimpeded to Bangladesh.
The issue of fishermen arrest was taken up by Prime Minister in his meeting with Mahinda Rajapakse. Both sides acknowledged the need to find a long-term solution to it.
Prime Minister raised this issue, saying that this is a humanitarian issue. This needs to be dealt with sensitivity. And Prime Minister and President Rajapakse did acknowledge that both sides need to work on finding a longer-term solution to it.
Prime Minister's pitch for a stronger regional bloc seems to be India's mantra ahead of the Nepal-SAARC summit. It is clear that after spoiled talks with Pakistan last month, the centre will go for consolidation among the rest of the countries to ensure a consensus. With inputs from Akhilesh Suman, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
With Jayalalithaa facing a jail term, the AIADMK today decided on a new Chief Minister for Tamil Nadu. O. Paneerselvam will succeed Jayalalithaa, who was sentenced in a disproportionate assets case yesterday. As party workers forced a statewide shutdown, Jaya's lawyers are strategizing for seeking a bail and a stay on the conviction, which could put her out of politics for 10 years.
Amid angry protests and a statewide shutdown, the AIADMK named Jayalalithaa loyalist O. Paneerselvam as its successor on Sunday. But while the announcement ended speculation as to who will be the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister after Jaya's conviction, the state continued to be on the edge. The main opposition party, the DMDK, expressed concern over the law and order. Leader of opposition Vijaykanth gave a memorandum to Governor K. Rajya urging him to restore the rule of law. The police said the situation was under control, with suspended bus services being resumed in a phased manner. AIADMK cadres and allies meanwhile rallied behind Jayalalithaa, saying the verdict was not final. Jayalalitha's lawyers are slated to now move the Karnataka High Court on Monday to seek bail and a stay on her conviction.
We have no fear, but Amma told to all over the ADMK parties, don't be fear, we will be win. The justice is favor for us.
One thing we can say, this is Karunanidhi regime. They have filed the false case, politically motivated case, false case. This is purposely they did this. We will appeal to the court for further, as per the Honorable Amma direction.
But even as the AIADMK party workers remain shell-shocked by her impending detention, others feel vindicated, saying that justice has finally prevailed.
This judgment of the Sessions Court is a significant vindication of the constitutional principle of rule of law be applicable not only to the common citizens but also those persons who are holding high public office.
On Saturday, Jayalalithaa became the first serving Chief Minister to be handed down a 4-year jail term by a special court and a 100 crore fine in a disproportionate case. To Jayalalithaa, this means immediate disqualification as an MLA, and unless a superior court overturns the conviction, she now runs the risk of being barred from contesting elections for the next 10 years. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And in related news, the Chennai police has lodged FIRs against DMK chief M. Karunanidhi and his son M.K. Stalin, along with 500 others on charges of clashing with AIADMK workers and supporters on Saturday. The clashes took place near the DMK chief's residence after Jayalalithaa was convicted in the disproportionate assets case. 3 FIRs were lodged by AIADMK workers. They alleged that a group of DMK workers attacked them with weapons. The accused faced charges under various sections of the Indian Penal Code, including rioting, carrying arms, voluntarily causing hurt and criminal intimidation. On Sunday, AIADMK workers protested against Karunanidhi over the clashes. And President's rule has been imposed in poll-bound Maharashtra on Sunday. President Pranab Mukherjee signed the proclamation a day after the Cabinet's recommendation. Governor's efforts to form an interim government also failed after BJP and Shiv Sena refused to do the offer. Meanwhile, Sena chief blamed BJP for split in alliance in his first rally.
It was a mere technicality waiting to happen. 3 days after NCP called off ties with Congress, reducing Prithviraj Chavan's government to minority, President's rule has been imposed in Maharashtra from Sunday. Though the imposition comes a couple of weeks before the state goes to assembly polls, Governor Vidyasagar Rao made an effort to form an interim government. In a letter to BJP and Shiv Sena, he asked if they could form a caretaker government till the elections, an offer both parties decided to reject. However, Congress is not happy with the imposition of President's rule.
भारत की सरकार ने कैबिनेट में बैठक करके प्रस्ताव दिया और राष्ट्रपति ने उसे स्वीकार किया और उसी संवैधानिक व्यवस्था के तहत महाराष्ट्र में राष्ट्रपति शासन लागू हुआ है और राज्यपाल अब चुनाव के दौरान शासन संभालेंगे, जो पारंपरिक प्रक्रिया है।
वहाँ पे क्या टेकर मुख्यमंत्री रहना चाहिए था। राष्ट्रपति शासन की कोई जरूरत नहीं थी। 15 दिन में चुनाव होने वाला है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने, उनकी सरकार ने राष्ट्रपति शासन जानबूझकर लगाया।
Meanwhile, Shiv Sena engaged in blame game over who should be blamed for the end of a 25-year-old alliance. While Sena has targeted its former ally, BJP has said its fight is against Congress and NCP.
बातम्या ज्या येतात त्याच्यामध्ये आहे की शिवसेना एकाकी पडली, एकटी पडलेली आणि म्हणून म्हणते की एकदा होऊन जाऊ दे, कोण कोण सोबत आहे ते बघू दे. आता लाट कशाला म्हणतात ते शिवसैनिक दाखवणार आहे. हा महाराष्ट्र कोणाचा आहे, माझा शिवसैनिक दाखवणार आहे.
देखिए, हमने तो तय कर दिया है कि हमारी सीधी लड़ाई ये कांग्रेस और राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस के साथ है और इसलिए अन्य किसी के ऊपर ना कोई टीका करेंगे ना टिप्पणी करेंगे.
Meanwhile, Congress leader and former State Minister Virendra Bakshi joined BJP on Sunday. BJP President Amit Shah formally welcomed Bakshi in the party fold about a fortnight ahead of the polls. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And talking about the other poll-bound state of Haryana, well, campaigning picked up there today as Chief Minister Bhupinder Singh Hooda and his son addressed public gatherings. Hooda accused BJP for not fulfilling their promises after coming to power at the centre. Hooda highlighted inflation figures, prices rise also to criticize the BJP. Addressing a rally in Faridabad, Hooda said BJP's waning popularity has been exposed by the recent by-poll results. His son Bhupinder Singh Hooda also addressed a rally in Jhajjar today. Bhupinder Hooda is eyeing his third term as the Haryana Chief Minister. The scrutiny of over 2,000 nomination papers filed will take place tomorrow, but the last day to withdraw the candidature is 1st of October.
ये मेरी बहनें बैठी ये बता देंगी भाई आलू का क्या भाव हो गया, तो बहुत ज्यादा इनको पड़ता है. प्याज का क्या भाव हो गया, टमाटर का क्या भाव हो गया, होगी महंगाई खत्म आ गई अच्छे से. तो भाई इनका तो देख लिया, बीजेपी का चेहरा बेनकाब हो चुका है.
जो रिस्पांस मिल रहा है, मैं समझता हूं कि जितनी हमें उम्मीद थी उससे कहीं ज़्यादा एक रुझान लोगों का दिखाई दे रहा है. उस रुझान देख के मैं कह सकता हूं आने वाले चुनाव में कांग्रेस पार्टी को बहुमत मिलेगा.
All right, time to take a very short break here. Coming up ahead, Jayalalithaa takes oath as the new Chief Justice of India. This and much more after a short break. Welcome back after the break. Now, Justice Jayalalithaa was sworn in as the new Chief Justice of India today. President Pranab Mukherjee administered him the oath of office at a brief ceremony held at the Darbar Hall of the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The 42nd Chief Justice of India will hold office till December 2015. He succeeds Chief Justice R.M. Lodha, who demitted offices on 27th of September. Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari, Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman P.J. Kurian and Home Minister Rajnath Singh were among those who were present at the ceremony. Dattu served as the Chief Justice of the Kerala High Court before his elevation as the judge in the Supreme Court. He has been heading the bench monitoring investigations into the 2G spectrum scam. And here is all the other national news and updates in Nationwide. The Election Commission will decide the dates for the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections after it receives the State Chief Electoral Officer's report on the flood situation in mid-October. The Commission is concerned over the condition of the polling stations and road connectivity. The full Commission could visit the state soon and take inputs from the Central Home Ministry. The government said it will follow laid-down rules in deciding the appointments to the posts of Lokpal, CVC and other statutory authorities. The absence of a recognized leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha has created a hurdle in the process of appointments to these key statutory bodies. After fighting floods for more than a week in Assam, the NDRF has now shifted its operations from rescue to relief. over 10 lakh people have been displaced in flood-hit Assam. After conducting an aerial survey in Assam and Meghalaya, Kiren Rijiju said on Saturday that the centre will help the Assam government with financial and material aid. Well, on to some international news now. Signalling an escalation of the aerial assault in Syria against the Islamic State, US-led airstrikes on Saturday struck militant positions near Kobane, which is close to the Turkish border. Now, Kobane has been the focus of a major battle pitting Syrian Kurdish militiamen against the advancing Islamic State forces. There were continuous attacks on IS-held oil refineries in Syria as well. The United States-led coalition forces struck 3 local oil fields overnight in the Syrian IS stronghold of Raqqa. On Saturday, their jets had targeted positions near Kobane on the Turkish border. Kobane has witnessed continuous clashes between Kurdish fighters and militants, with over 1 lakh Syrians fleeing into Turkey.
يوم تشتكي ما ناموا مزاري وخدار باسكر كاسي الورتنا يوم كان سريك الواخر يوم دي سافا
Britain, Denmark and Belgium also threw their military might behind the US-led air war. British Tornado RAF jets equipped with highly sophisticated surveillance were unleashed above Iraq, although so far no airstrikes have been carried out. These nations, along with France, have so far limited their role to Iraq, but Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Bahrain, Jordan and Qatar have sent their jets to attack targets inside Syria.
America is leading the world in the fight to degrade and ultimately destroy the terrorist group known as ISIL. On Monday, our brave men and women in uniform began airstrikes against ISIL targets in Syria, and they weren't alone. I made it clear that America would act as part of a broad coalition, and we were joined in this action by friends and partners, including Arab nations. At the United Nations in New York, I worked to build more support for this coalition.
Our strategy here is not some simplistic, drop a bomb from 40,000 feet and think you can solve the problem. It isn't. This is one part of a comprehensive strategy to build an Iraq that has a democratic, inclusive government for everyone, and in time, Syria needs exactly the same thing.
Ces F-16 ont décollé depuis la base aérienne de Florène cet après-midi, comme c'était le cas lorsque nous avons fait l'opération en Libye il y a 3 ans maintenant. Ils ont été prépositionnés dans un modus opérationnel.
In another development, Syrian militant group Al-Nusra Front denounced the US-led airstrikes as a war against Islam. In an online statement, the Al-Qaeda-linked group called on the jihadists around the world to target Western and Arab countries involved in anti-IS coalition. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov raised the Ukrainian crisis and the march of the Islamic State in the UN General Assembly. He questioned the policies of the US and the EU towards Ukraine. Lavrov also criticized their tactics in dealing with the Islamic State in his address to the UN General Assembly. The IS have been targeted by airstrikes by a US-led coalition in recent days.
Соединенные Штаты и Евросоюз поддержали государственный переворот на Украине, стали безоглядно оправдывать любые действия самопровозглашенных киевских властей, взявших курс на силовое подавление той части украинского народа, которая отвергла попытки навязать всей стране антиконституционные порядки, хотела отстоять свои права.
And news from Japan now, where close to 30 people were found dead and more than 40 were injured after volcano of Mount Ontake erupted on Saturday. Now, Japanese military and police are engaged in rescue operations, even as the volcano was still erupting, pouring smoke and ash hundreds of meters into the sky. Bodies
bodies of at least 30 people were recovered near the volcano of Mount Ontek Peak in central Japan that erupted on Saturday without warning. The sudden eruption led to scores of climbers and hikers being trapped. More than 500 personnel from Japanese military and police are carrying out the rescue operations. Military helicopters plucked 7 people off the mountainside.
熱風とで小屋の屋根を突き破り、ドーンドーン。一回もうトタン屋根がバラバラ。
南側に噴煙が流れ下り、3キロメートルを超えたことを観測しております。
Before the bodies were discovered on Sunday, the Fire and Disaster Management Agency said 45 people were unaccounted for. The rescue operations were called off at night amid fears of fresh eruptions. Mount Ontek erupted shortly before noon on Saturday, sending thick plumes of smoke and rocks into the air. About 250 people were near the 3,067-meter peak when the eruption occurred. Japan is one of the world's most seismically active nations, but there have been no fatalities from volcanic eruptions since 1991. Officials said that although there had been a rising number of small earthquakes detected at Ontek since 10th of September, the eruption could not have been predicted easily. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And we get you all the other international news and updates in Global Buzz. Afghanistan will host a grand presidential inauguration on Monday. Former US-based academic Ashraf Ghani will be sworn in as the successor of President Hamid Karzai. The ceremony will be the country's first democratic transfer of power since the fall of the Taliban in 2001. Thousands of people converged on the Hong Kong government headquarters on Sunday after televised clashes between pro-democracy supporters and the police. Earlier, police arrested dozens of students who scaled fences at government headquarters overnight after a week of protests. Police used pepper spray to disperse the crowd. Supporters of the former Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak clashed outside a court in Cairo protesting the delay of a verdict in a case. Mubarak is accused of ordering deaths of the protesters in Egypt's 2011 uprising. The verdict is now expected late November. He was found guilty and sentenced to life in 2012, but the conviction was overturned on technical grounds. Mubarak ruled Egypt for almost 30 years. A police officer was shot in Ferguson while chasing 2 suspects outside a community centre. Authorities said the incident was unrelated to the continuing protests over the death of a teenager by a police officer. Well, another short break here. Coming up ahead, India adds 8 more medals to its Asian Games tally. Stay with us for more. Welcome back after the break and news from India now. Well, Indian athletes, wrestlers and tennis players added 8 more medals to the tally on Sunday. Wrestler Yogeshwar Dutt won another gold medal for the country in the 65-kilogram freestyle event. Khushbir Kaur became the first Indian woman to win a medal in 20 kilometers race walking event, finishing second. Now 5 more bronze medals came from track and field and tennis courts. It was a fruitful Sunday for India in track and field as well as wrestling. Olympic bronze medalist Yogeshwar Dutt ended a 28-year gold drought in wrestling by winning the 65-kilogram freestyle event. He defeated Tajikistan Zalim Khan Yusupov. The last Indian to win a gold medal in wrestling was Kartar Singh in the 1986 edition in Seoul.
वो एक आउटस्टैंडिंग परफॉर्मेंस थी और ये योगेश्वर जैसा खिलाड़ी ही कर सकता है. बहुत अच्छी एक भारतीय कुश्ती के लिए, भारतीय खेलों के लिए अच्छी खबर है. मुझे फख्र है कि आज भारत की कुश्ती जो आगे जो हम टारगेट लेके चल रहे हैं रियो ओलंपिक में, तो उससे अब ये लग रहा है कि हमारे वहाँ पे भी, क्योंकि सिल्वर और ब्रॉन्ज तो हमारे पास ओलंपिक के आ चुके हैं और अब इससे ये लगता है कि हम गोल्ड मेडल भी वहाँ से जीत सकते हैं.
In athletics, Khushbir Kaur became the first Indian woman to manage a podium finish in 20 kilometers race walking event. She won the silver medal after finishing behind her Chinese competitor. In 400 meters race, India won bronze medals in both men's and women's category. Rajiv Arokya clocked his personal best in men's race, while M.R. Puvamma finished third in the women's race. Manju Bala secured a bronze in women's hammer throw to add to the growing medal tally from track and field events. In tennis, Sania Mirza and Prarthana Thombare settled for a bronze, losing the women's double semi-final to China. Yuki Bhamri clinched India's lone singles medal in this edition after settling for a bronze in the men's event. He won another bronze medal for India in the men's doubles after losing to South Korea. Sekith Maineni got himself in line for 2 gold medals by reaching the finals of both men's doubles and mixed doubles events. Olympic bronze medalist Mary Kom led the charge as Indian women boxers reached semi-final stage. Apart from Mary Kom, El Sarita Devi in 60 kg category and Pooja Rani in 75 kg reached the semis with commanding victories. At the end of day 9, India has improved its position to 9th on the medal tally. China's tally has crossed 200 mark. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, that's all in this edition of News Tonight. Thanks for watching. Good night.